Hello, and welcome back to the stream campaign before Kerbin. When last we left off, we finally put a probe around the Atlas. You can actually see it here doing its thing. Actually, we can't see it actually doing its thing, but we can see what we've mapped out so far. We're just going to wait until that gets fully mapped out before we move that probe anymore. We did skip a VAB, and then the second VAB just passed. Unfortunately, for my rules, that doesn't mean I can just launch two in a row. I just missed out on one of the VAB things. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Let's see if there's any asteroids of importance. This one's already an extreme angle, yeah, so that's not going to be, I don't care about that. Stop tracking. That inclination is also pretty insane. But no. Stop tracking. Here we have some decent objects, but we've already been tracking those three. So yeah, no asteroids of import that we want to track. No, cancel. That's the other one. So, see if there's any interesting missions. Ferry 2 tourists. Position in an adjusted orbit of Serpent. No. 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 Actually, that's 200,000 bucks, and that's a very easy thing to launch. Yeah, let's take that. We have plant flag and science from data from space around Serpent. So, what I think we're going to do is we're going to launch another very brief manned mission to Serpent. Specifically, we're going to launch the Serpent. I feel like the Serpent X2 is what I want, but that might be too much. Yeah, I don't want this. I just want the what's the Serpent 2-1? Let's look at that. That looks better. Do we have a better version? What's the Serpent? Nope, just the 2.1. Okay. So hopefully this has enough fuel to do all of the landings that I want to do. Let's see, we have... this is the asparagus staging, so everything after 3. That's 6,000, or 6 kilometers per second. That should be enough. Should be is different than is, though. What I'm going to do, just to quadruple check, is add a top stage. Nope, that's not the right thing. Add a top stage to this that hopefully has more delta V than that. $1,000. Okay. And then hopefully we can launch this into space. That was a stupid idea. Let's just get rid of it. We have plenty of fuel. Yeah. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything is gonna be just fine after I add this on there. Brilliant. So we have that. Ooh, what we also need to ensure we have is the gravioli detector, because that is going to come in very handy. I'm going to double up on that, just in case. In fact, I'm going to double up on everything. That's a good idea. Let's double up on the thermometers. there any other thing that we need? So we have the gravioli detector, we have the pressure map barometer. We don't have a pressure map barometer. Okay. So there we go. Now we do. We do not have a science lab on this at all, actually. Let's add one. And that's going to mess up our delta V. However, it's also going to enable us to add more of these. So let's just slap on a second one like that. There we go. So that should be... Oh, that's not sick. I'm stupid. This is not that much delta V, actually. Alright. So once I pop off stage 4, I feel like some of the stages aren't listed here. So we have stage 7, which is okay. Stage 6 should be its own stage, which is just the core sustainer stage. So I feel like we're underestimating how much delta V we have. All the same, however, I am going to go through and add on a second thing to try to have this be the nope, that's not the right. That was caps lock, not shift. There we go. So ideally, this whole bottom stack gets us into orbit. This middle stack gets us to Serpent, and then the rest of this can be used for landing, etc. We have 23 days of fuel, of food and stuff. Yeah, that's plenty. We also have this probe core. It's the Hex probe core, which is still the best probe core that we have. Yeah. Really? We don't have anything better? I'm disappointed in me. Right, it's because science is very hard to get in this mod. Which I realize sounds like a very jerk thing to say, now that I realize that the mod maker is watching my videos. Don't take that the wrong way, please. I feel bad now. It's a very fun mod, otherwise I wouldn't be playing it. Alright, let's add some more of those. Alright, so we have the science. We have a communicatron, which is okay. We have power. We have legs. We should retract the legs, because we don't need to start them expanded. Let's move that up so it stops making me nervous about whether it's actually going to get fuel flow. Alright, make sure that these are ordered properly. Yes. Yes, good. Alright. We have the parachute at the top, which we know works, otherwise I would have fixed it because things would have broken. We have Separatron rockets, yes. We have struts connecting those. We don't need struts connecting these because that's where the thing is. That's all asparagus staged. Make sure the atmospheric is good. Yes. I will call this the Serpent 2.2. More science. Science for days. Noticing that the other one said less science, I'm pretty sure I could have just loaded up the Serpent 2.1 and had all of the science, or the Serpent 2, but, you know, oh well, too late now. Alright. Yes, I think this is a good plan. It's only 83,000. It's gonna be good. let's add in a scientist, ideally one that hasn't been to Serpent yet. So that's just these two. Wow, we are just lousy for scientists. Alright, let's just take one. Can we hire any other scientists? We can. It's expensive, jeez. Alright, let's not do that. Let's just save it. Let's launch it. Nope. This is bad. This is not going to do anything. There we go. Did that fix our staging issue? It did not. Okay. Why? What? No. Bad. What is... This is just all wrong. Okay. These need to go along with these. Yes. So there's the bottom. So, okay. The 3 main engines fire, followed by this coming off once I get the actual speed for it. Followed by the boosters falling off, along with their Separatron rockets. Which is in turn followed by this. Which is in turn followed by this engine. Which is in turn followed by that. Which is in turn followed by that engine. Which is in turn followed by those two. Which are the ones feeding into those two. Which then falls off and we parachute to land. Yes, good. This is better. This is much better. Yeah. Okay. Better, but not ideal. I know. When in doubt. Threefold symmetry. There we go. Of course, that messes up this a little bit, but I don't care. I like it. That gives us more Delta V in the initial stage. This hopefully is enough to get us to Serpent, leaving us with a decent amount of Delta V in the last little bit. Okay, let's save that. We still have Sangan, who has not yet landed on Serpent. So let's just fire this off. All right. I would like to know how much thrust weight ratio I have. 1. Good. I probably could have gotten this cheaper by just using a 2-meter base, but oh well. Then it wouldn't be the Serpent 2.2 or 2.3. I forget what I called this. It would be entirely other classification. It's just cheating. Slapped on a chaos module. Oh, there is a chaos module. What? Where? I am very confused. Okay. We have chaos, I guess. see how well these things stage in threes. Still beautiful. Awesome. There's a little bit of a wobble now. It's not too bad. Wow, 4 minutes for this stage? Jeez. Should have probably put a heavier engine on there rather than this thing. I like how it's... Huh. I wonder if this has the exact same amount of fuel. Well, I mean, it clearly does. This one tank has the exact same amount of fuel as these two auxiliary tanks combined. Because they're both 4 minutes and 30.7 seconds. Oh, including those two well, that makes sense. Those two auxiliary tanks. That's an interesting little tidbit. And we're almost going to get perfectly into orbit on this. Unfortunately, not enough for this to be just a transition engine. And this thing doesn't have enough fuel to be a complete the orbit and do a transfer maneuver. I don't think Serpent's in any sort of position for me to be able to do a... Actually, it might. Okay, so let's see what I can do if I... No, it's not in the right position. If I'd waited to the right moment, I could have just gone straight to Serpent instead of circularizing my orbit. But even then, that would have the side effect of circularizing the orbit. Alas, I might actually have to leave a piece of junk in space. That would be less than ideal. Save it at the very least, because I bet you we are pretty much right where we need to be if we just want to keep firing forward to get to Serpent. Actually, I know what I can do. This is brilliant. Okay. Well, you know, for varying definitions of the word brilliant. All right. Let's circularize our orbit, as per normal. At least do a decent job. There we go. Just so I'm not gonna fall out of the sky. Okay. So, Serpent is going to advance. So if I do something like... Actually, how much delta V do I have left? I have 400 delta V. That's not that much. 470. So I don't really need to care. Yeah, that's not all that different. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself a... Yeah, so it's just about there. I'll advance it on just a tiny bit. Drop this down to 470. And by 470, I mean 440. Wait for that node to come around. Alright. So about there. No, it doesn't matter. It's just going to be prograde. All I needed was the rough time for this burn. Let's go 3 times time acceleration. I want to leave myself, I don't know, 50 meters per second delta V left over to do the trick at the end. There we go. Alright, so now up here, actually how much delta V does it take? Yeah, 50's actually probably a little too much. Nah, it's fine. 50's okay. So now I go up to apoapse. Oh, I think I already passed apoapse. I very much already passed apoapse because I'm a derp. Alright, in that case, let's just fire this way. Something like that is probably best. Alright, 38. Dump that. Let's go prograde. Lift ourselves back up above 70. Let's go 75. And then we can finish the maneuver, which should hopefully give us a encounter that's fairly okay. It's not perfect. There we go. Alrighty. And just to be super complete about everything, what I'll do, space near Eden, where's the door? There's the door. So let's take the close one. Log gravity data. Gravity scans are biome dependent. That's good to know. Pressure data, keep that. Temperature data. It's EVA. Take data. EVA report. Take data. Take data. Worst case scenario, some of these datas were already used. Best case scenario, they weren't used and they can be used for science. Let's take that. Collect. Restore. Alright. We can get rid of this timer. We don't need it open at all times. Okay, so we already got gravity from grassy uplands. So we can get rocky highlands. So EVA, take data. Alright, 1 minute and 50 seconds divided by 2. 1 minute 50 is 110, which is 55 seconds. Is when we need to actually be doing our burn. In fact, I could have just used chaos, I realize now. Ooh, cool seas. Let's take cool seas. So hopefully we have enough delta V in this thing to be able to land on all 3 biomes. Again, the interest isn't necessarily for the science itself, it's for the data that we can then upload to the science station in orbit. Although if we fail that, worst case scenario, we just have to launch a second mission. There we go. That's decent. Alrighty. So I don't actually know where we enter. High space is at 300. I missed. Nah. Screw it. What I'll eventually do is just send up a probe in polar orbit to get all the other things. What I can do in high altitude is log all of the stuff. High over the cool seas? Okay, that's interesting. Crew report, pressure data, temperature data, observed materials bay. Let's take all the data. Let's take that data, take that data. Take that data, take that data, EVA report, collect data, restore. There we go. All of the science. Okay, poisonous flats. log gravity data, crew report, materials bay, log pressure data, log temperature data, EVA, take data, collect data, restore, take data, EVA report, take all the data, get back in. Alright. And we already did the gravioli from high above the poisonous flats, so now just rotate until that says something different. Bumpy Midlands. Log. Take. What I could also be doing is sending the science home, since I'm not going to be retrieving most of this, because I'm going to be just giving it to the science station. So yeah, I will transmit. I'll start transmitting the science while I can. While making sure that we're not actually going to drain our electric charge by doing that, which it looks like will be fine. Oh, right, and we completed that award, which was itself almost enough to pay for this entire mission. The flags even can be more money. So what's nice about those flags is you can, let's log, keep that, log, keep that. Actually, let's review that. Let's transmit that. While it's transmitting, let's take that and put it away. So what's nice about the plant flag missions is, since they keep showing up, you can keep taking them and constantly funding science missions to various bodies. Alright, so that was the Bumpy Midlands, Metallic Highlands, and Poisonous Flats. That was all three. All three, whatchamacallits, biomes. Can I refresh this, see if we've... Yeah, we've gotten a fair bit more. Not a fair bit, a decent amount more. But that's not what I want. I want Serpent. So. And I don't want this. I want the big map. Nope, it's not the big map. I feel like that is the big map, or that should be the big map. Yes, why isn't my ground track shown? Oh, it is. It's just not very well. Okay. Low is beneath 30, I already know that. So I don't need to worry about more gravity data until I get beneath 30. And even then, what I should do actually is just run circle 260. We have 800 left. That's plenty. Alright. Run exonode. The one thing my program can't do is stage. With a lot of work and effort, I could probably get it to stage. But that's... no. No thanks. $6.3 million. That's such a nice number. I'm just constantly paranoid about running out of money once I start sending up like really big things into space for colonizing. Alright, we're at the poisonous flats. I can take gravity data. Bumpy Midlands. Guess what that is? Gravity data. Let's take a crew report from low. orbit. Let's take a pressure sample from low orbit. Let's take a temperature sample from low orbit. Fun fact, since there's a probe and chaos, I could EVA right now and this ship should still do its own thing. I'm not going to because that's tempting Murphy's Law. And you never taunt Murphy's Law. It's just a poor idea in general. Alright, so let's EVA. Let's take all the stuff. EVA report. Let's take the data. Take the data. Oh, there's the chaos right there. Okay. Let's take that data. Take that data. Let's observe the mystery goo, or this stuff. Mystery goo! We don't have mystery goo! Oh, no. Drat. That sucks. Oh well. It's too late now. I'm not gonna restart this whole mission. That would just be silly. Darn. Now that's just gonna cycle for a while. It's gonna cycle a lot. We do need to transmit the metallic highlands, so let's do that. I just realized we're not in the sunlight, so we're going to run out of power. Nope, we're not gonna run out of power. I mean, we still might, but what is that? Huh? A, I don't even know what that symbol means. B, it's not a mission that we have. Alright, I'm gonna quick save and go to the Space Center and check the missions list to see just what that is. Ferry 4 tourists. Suborbital spaceflight of Eden. Yeah, that's never going to happen. Unfortunately, the tourist missions are probably not going to be something we can do in general because they'll start throwing in stuff like this, which is just ridiculous on the outset. Conduct temperature surveys of Serpent. We don't need the money, and those are boring. Say no to that. Scan sat and adjusted orbit. No. 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 Science from the surface of Serpent. I will take that. Because we're going to go there anyway. So we may as well. Serpent 2.2. I am very confused as to what that symbol even means. Alright, doesn't matter. We need to find a place to land. So, let's open up the big map. We finally get this. Can we get day-night as well? Yes, we can. Alright. So I'm thinking... Yeah, we could just deorbit right here and land over next to this little area. So we could get the metallic highlands, the bumpy midlands, and the poisonous flats just all in a string there. And that leaves us close enough to the equator that we could do a very quick return to orbit, or return to Eden from that. So let's do that, yes. So we're going to be landing right around here. Okay, that's actually too low. It's the problem with starting your deorbit maneuver at 15 kilometers. Let's go up to 6. Alright. And we still have electric charge issues. There we go. Bumpy Midlands, I'm not sure if we've actually transmitted that yet. Let's see. We have not, so let's transmit that. So we've done Bumpy Midlands, Metallic Highlands. We just need Poisonous Flats to transmit that home. In fact, I don't know. Just to be safe. Log gravity. Let's keep that. Let's try taking that data and adding it. Okay, so we didn't have that yet. Glad I did that. Okay, ideally we'll land right on the top of those mountains. Also, ideally, we won't crash into those mountains. Let's log gravity data there. EVA. Take the data. There we go. In fact, just to ensure we don't crash into those mountains, I'm going to burn it this way. So there we go. We're actually going up now. That's good. Because I know I'm not going to crash because we're going to go over it. But I also don't want to, you know, hit it as I decelerate. Alright, so we know, I guess I'm assuming, somewhere close to this is going to be Poisonous Flats. These mountains are Poisonous Flats? They're not Metallic Highlands? Okay. Hopefully we can stop inside of these Metallic Highlands. In fact, I'm going to open up this thing. Oof. Passed right over. Okay. New plan. Push ourselves up and land on the other side. Yeah. There we go. Still going to hold out for just a little bit before starting the deceleration, so hopefully we can not land on hills, because I don't trust this thing's ability to not fall over. I'm pretty sure we already have Metallic Highlands. Yes, the only thing I'm missing is Poisonous Flats, which, now that I think about it, I could have really easily done just a few moments ago as we were passing over the Poisonous Flats. But, you know, hindsight 2020. Also make sure that I'm not going to waste anything by burning out this fuel. Also make sure 11 degrees is a decent clip. Decent amount of degrees. Hopefully it's not too bad. Stop sliding, please. Okay, good. Whew. Well, that wasn't too bad at all. Alright. First things first, let's just get this out of the way. Let's take seismic data. Crew report. Pressure data. Temperature. There we go. Get a little bit more reward. Let's retake the gravity data. Observe materials bay. Keep it. Alright. UVA report. And take all of the science. Take. Collect. Restore. Alright. Let's jump back in. UVA again. And break the solar panel. Because of course you're going to break the solar panel. Why wouldn't you break the solar panel? Ugh. What is happening? Did my keyboard explode? Nope, my keyboard's still alive. When was the last save game? Persistent. Day 385454. Nope. Yeah, so let's just load that up. Because that was just a flustercluck of errors. And this should be us landed, and hopefully not, you know, falling towards the ground still. Oh, it's falling towards the ground still. Perfect. Alright. So this 11.4 is bad. I am going to push us a bit this way to get a better landing site. There we go. It's not quite so precarious as the last one. Alright, let's quick save it now first before we do anything else. Let's do all the science again. Let's transmit one of these. Log pressure data. Temperature data. Crew report. Materials bay. Alright. Take data. Take data. Don't worry about the explosions. Those are just bits of my spaceship falling apart. Let's take all that data. Collect. Restore. Take an EVA report from here. Climb in. We got that money again. So let's do a quick save again. EVA. Let's try not to break all of the things this time. Nope, that didn't work at all. You know what? I wish you could let go of the ladder and not just immediately ragdoll. That would be nice. Okay, let's... Oh, we can't close it because I didn't choose the closable ones. Okay. That's perfect. There we go. Whew, that was close. Alright, EVA report from space just above. Let's plant the flag. Serpent 22 landing 01. Actually, just do 1. Science for the science god. Alright. Got 9. Ooh! That's cool looking. Let's get rid of Kerbin engineer. Get a nice picture of that, because that's really pretty. And then immediately disable the aerodynamic overlay forces. Alright, let's bring Kerbin engineer back, because I like having it open. Go away. Okay, you fade away apparently. Let's take the surface sample. We already did an EVA report from the surface. So now, it's just a matter of getting to a different place. Board anyway, yeah, sure. I don't know which one of the experience that was, but I don't care. Plant flag. 150 grand. Even more money. Alright. Now we need to plan where to go next. It looks like we can just go southwest. Yeah, I like southwest. It's going to be a very short hop. And ideally, actually I should leave that open. Ideally we'll find some nice smooth ground and not use up too much delta V on the way. Southwest is this way, 225. Let's go that way. Southeast, not southwest. Turn around. Like, looks like I'm going back towards the highlands. Alright, there we go. That's decent. Let's flip ourselves around. Bumpy Midlands, just in case if we haven't. Store 1 from space. .8 degrees, jeez. I guess they are bumpy. Now, if we had a one of those high-fidelity radar altimeter satellites, we could actually get good slope data for ScanSat. There we go. It's not too bad. All right, we already have that data, so log the other data. Actually, let's review and transmit that while we're here. Let's take seismic data. Let's also take and transmit some seismic data. Log temperature, pressure, crew report. Get rid of that. Observe materials bay. Collect that data, restore, take that data, take the data, take all of the data, The reason I do the take the data thing is... Take the data. Do I have take the data? Okay. I forget what I was just saying. Wow, my brain just exploded there. Alright. Cannot quick save while Kerbals are on a ladder, so let's quick save here so we don't break anything on our way out. EVA report. There we go. Take surface sample, EVA report, plant the flag. Can't believe I forgot the mystery goo container. Serpent 2-2, landing 2. Yet more science and a brain fart. Okay. Do all of the science. Alright, now I just need to go to some flats. Dump experiments. I don't know what experiments are getting dumped, but that's okay. So it looks like just go straight west will do it. So west is that way. Make sure I'm actually going to clear those mountains. Yeah, I will. Good. And that's probably good. Will I clear these mountains? That's a mystery. Let's try. Ooh, barely. Just gonna skim right over them. And pass through this little saddle here. Yes, I could have landed in there to get the poisonous flats, but that's hard to land in. If I want poisonous flats, it's just gonna be so much easier to use the flat poisonous flats. Alright, slow down. Retrograde. Let's grab a gravity data, transmit it. Grab a second gravity data for posterity, just in case we haven't done this yet. Near Serpent, never mind. We definitely already have that review data. Near Serpent, okay. So those aren't biome dependent. There we go. Nice and flat. Log. Log. Crew report. Surf materials bay. Log. We already have that one, so let's log this one. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Oh, let's transmit that while we're here. The reason I do this, take all the data, is because that's the only way you can take multiple crew reports, is by taking the data from the can. Otherwise it says overwrite existing report. And no, I don't want to overwrite. I just want multiple reports from multiple biomes. So let's take that. We got that, so let's take another. Take that data. Yep. Take the EVA report while we're here. Board anyway. I wasn't actually sure if I got this, so I'm going to quadruple check, collect that data, restore. Head out a bit. Take surface sample, EVA report, plant the flag. Don't get any cool shot of Eden, unfortunately. Serpent 2.2, landing 3. All of the science except mystery goo, because the goo's dumb. Serious about Khan. It's not because they forgot the goo, no, it's because it's dumb, definitely. They made a conscious choice to not put the goo on. Alright. So now we just need to rendezvous with this little thing to actually transfer all that science over. So it looks like a southeast direction is our target. Decent alignment, 0.5 degrees, especially for Serpent. I could not even negate that and still be okay. So let's go up to 15. They're up at 42 actually. Yeah, 15's fine. Alright, we still have 500 meters per second in this stage. We have plenty of delta V for this mission. I still don't regret adding that second stage, because that gave us 500 meters per second, or 800 meters per second. So we would be decently cutting it short if we didn't have that. It'd be more hard-pressed to land at all 3 biomes and return home safely. So let's circularize the orbit. The ascending node means we'll need to burn a little bit to the south, which is this direction, to counteract that. There we go. Now, it's just a matter of finding out when to do the rendezvous. Am I going crazy? No. There we go. Just put it right there. Alright. And now we wait. I feel like we should be able to see it. Oh, there it is. Right, it's in front of us because we're below it. That makes sense. And our inclination is basically 0. I like it. Let's get rid of surface. We don't need that anymore. Alright. Let's see how well we did. Separation of 0 kilometers. That's a quick save, because I bet you that means we're going to actually impact it. Which I would rather not do, obviously. Let's quick save again. Looks like we're not going to hit it. But if it was oriented in a different direction, we probably would have. That's pretty dang good if I say so myself. We are expending energy because we're actually in its shadow. But it looks like we are moving slightly relative to it, so that'll change here soon. Alright, let's EVA. Let's take all this data. Head over. Grab. Can I store experiments? I can. Just dump it all in there. Alright, let's get in. Switch over. How are you doing? You're almost full on science. Let's transmit that science. That's actually going to give us a lot. That might give us enough to build a space plane. I am super excited if I can build a space plane. I wonder if time acceleration actually accelerates that. It does look like it does. We're actually going to have enough power storage to... Yeah, okay. So let's review this data. Jeez, we have so much data. Okay, we can fit 100. That's garbage. Let's throw that away. That's also garbage. Can fit 100. I'm going to save the 40 for later. I'm going to save the 50 for later. 125. We can do that. We can fit that in there, right? We can't fit that in there. Okay. That's garbage. That's garbage. 156. No way we can fit that. 50 data. I still don't think. 75. Let's throw the 75 in there. 31. We can definitely fit that. And the rest is probably not going to fit. Yeah. We would need less than 20. Garbage. 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 This means that we've already done it for this processing lab. 12 data! We can actually fit that in there. Ha ha ha! 8 data! We can't fit that. That's too much to ask. Okay. So let's go through and trash what we know we can't do anyway. Trash. Alright. So we do have 41 data that's usable. This thing is back up to maximum capacity. Let's go back to this and send you home. Which means as we cross over the equator, which is about here, we just need to burn up. In fact, burn up, retrograde, up, retrograde, until we're actually... Nope. What was that? That was bad. That was the blue thing. So the reason you have to go retrograde, by the way, so as we keep going up, you notice the more like right now, this new track isn't perpendicular to the things. So when I pull on this, it's providing some component of prograde on the resultant vector, which is why the apoapse increases the more you do that. Which is why you need to counteract it with a little bit of retrograde. Which is also why... Here, let me finagle this to be about horizontal. Can I just click the thing I want to click? Yes, good. So that's decently good enough. So as we actually approach this vector here, let's quick save and time warp towards it. Alright. So let's open up Chaos and do the run exonode. So all of those retrograde components that we had to do, and the fact that this resultant orbit isn't complicated math. The result is because we had to do the retrograde. As we burn, you'll watch that our periapse will decrease because this this vector isn't pure perpendicular. So we're losing some energy to that orbit, and then as this transfers over to the other side, we're gaining it back in our new orbit, and then that just breaks. Stop! 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 Cancel! Then something like that happens and leaves you with confusion. I have no idea what the heck just happened. Okay. So yeah, clearly as we passed over the node, it reset the actual node, which is not good. So let's first counteract our vertical velocity to bring our orbit into something more sane. All right, and now we need to go prograde to recircularize. There we go. That's good enough. Alright, let's just quick save that. Oh, it's because our we used up all of this fuel. That's what happened. Not that it matters, we still have plenty of delta V. Alright, somewhere around here is good. What we could do is we could wait until we're going to land on the daylight side, but that's boring. So let's just not. There we go. 32 kilometers. I like it. Farewell, Serpent. We had a blast. I'm actually going to push myself up just a bit. Up to like 35. 34 is good. And then grassy uplands. Sure, I'll take that. Then let's just yeah, we're not going to get. Actually, if I point some direction like this, I'll actually be able to fill up the, or should be able to fill up the electric charge. No? No? We still don't have enough? Okay, fine. Let's just pop upwards. Jump it. And then hope we have enough electric charge to survive. Jeez, things are exploding. Hopefully not anything important. Looks like our accelerometers are gone. Our thermometers are still here, as are our pressure map barometers. Our antenna will probably explode here soon. Gravity scan cannot be done right now. Okay. you can't do the gravity data in the orbit, or in the atmosphere. But we can do it on the ground. Get an extra 6 science out of it. Take surface sample. Awesome. EVA report. Awesome. Crew report. Awesome. Cover. Just a tiny little bit of extra science. Every bit helps. Almost 1,200 science. I like it. And Sangen is level 2. Kick ass. Okay. If I get this, yes, I can do an okay space plane with this. So I'm definitely going to pick that up. I don't have enough for that or this, which just has a water drill, which is only useful for stuff. I do need this to get the inlines, or the bigger inline containers. So I'll pick that up. I do have an extra 300. I do need this corridor ending at some point. So I'll pick that up here. Don't need any of those. I might need this for the really heavy colonization stuff, but not right now. Okay. I don't need the heavy landing gears. I do have medium, which is all I need for a space plane. Alright, so next on the list I think will be either this or it's going to be this. This is going to be next on the list. Yeah. This automation, just for the algae farm. The community controls won't hurt, but the algae farm especially. So, we did that. Sam J. Yes. Yes, let's do it. So this is an interesting one. Recover him and his debris. Oh, her. It's not a very big vessel, and it does pay a decent amount of money. So let's just accept that. Alright. But first, let's build ourselves a space plane. Start with this. We don't have the fancy probe core to add on to that, unfortunately, which means we will always need at least one pilot until we get that. Throw that on there. We want payload, specifically that one. Actually, before that, we want this, and then this. Brilliant. Okay. I'm so excited. You have no idea. Okay. Control. Let's throw on the scriptable control. And then I don't need any actual science for this. I don't think. We do want batteries. So let's throw on 2 of those. And yeah, let's keep it that for now. In fact, because we're going to keep it that for now and we don't need science, let's shorten this to the small version. Because I don't have those fancy engines, I'm not going to be able to get super efficient with this space plane. Let's add the monopropellant tank on there. 400 versus... is this the big one? No, and that's 250. I'd rather not add length and just do that. Yeah, much better. 250 is okay. Can we add 2 radial tanks? Each of those is 150. Let's just do that, because they can fit. One thing we do also want to add is a antenna. That's not an antenna. That antenna. Does that clip through the top? It does not. Perfect. So let's keep that there. We also want a flight system. Alright, close that off. We have monopropellant, we have all that stuff. So, now we need rocket fuel, followed by this. Brilliant. Do we want rocket fuel? What engines do we have? We have these engines, so we do need rocket fuel. Yes. But do we need that much? Let's keep that much on there for now. Man, it's been so long since I've actually built a Raven that I forget how to do it. I used to be able to build it by heart. Do we have any of the smaller wings? No. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Let's throw that on there. I want the long... Nope, that one. Perfect. There we go. So one thing to note, so you see, like my mouse is over at the tip, and yet it's about lined up. If you do it the other way, like this, so the mouse is near the base and it's lined up, and then you try to add something... Well, what? Did I get that backwards, or did it change on me? Nope. Okay. That's weird. Never mind. Ignore what I said. I'm going to do it this way. Alright. And I am a stickler for getting these to line up. There we go. Alrighty. Can I fit a second? Nope. I want a second one of these. Or is that going to be too much? That's not going to be too much. It's going to be fine. Alright, there we go. Now what we need are these. Yes, the Mark I liquid fuel storage. So let's put that there. Actually, let's... Yeah, put it right there. Aerodynamics, we want... Not the pre-cooler. We want just these. Yes. No, not those. The shot cone. Clearly the shot cone. Definitely the shot cone. Okay. Now we need more liquid, or Mark I liquid fuels. That's not right. There we go. They need to roughly line up with the backs of those in an ideal world. It's about right there. Is this what I want it to be? I just realized this only has room for 4 engines. It might be until I get the next level. No, it's not what I want. Okay. I'm gonna add those on there. Get rid of this. Go away. Instead, we're going to place down, it's just liquid fuel, yes. Just liquid fuel. That's all I care about. Let's put you somewhere there. We need you to go that way. Actually, get rid of you again. Because you have a longer liquid fuel storage that I want to use. Place you that way. That's too much. So, just the short liquid fuel. Good. Followed by another bicoupler. And this we need to arrange roughly equal to that. Just to be silly, let's put it closer in, like that. Alright. Now we use the shotgun intakes. And I don't like that clipping, so let's move it out just a tad. There. You can see a little bit of clipping inside, which is not good. Let's move it to there. Still some clipping. Boo! There we go. Alright, now what we want are in here. We need engine pre-coolers on the edges. Can we? There we go. Followed by these engines. And then I'll just do a regular rocket fuel. Right there. Ugh. No. Boo. Never mind. Just liquid fuel storage. And these engines. Yes. Yes. No. No. No, I can't do this. This isn't gonna fly. Go away. You go there. You go away. We're going back to the single size. I just remembered because I need the rapier to be able to build. Clicked out. To be able to build the 2 wide wings. Right. So, more liquid fuel. Let's go back. Pull those up. And we need the pre-cooler, followed by the engines. Which means you can actually afford some extra rocket fuel. That's pretty good. Alrighty. Next up, wings. Or specifically, tail fins. I want that or the next low level in. I want that, yes. Okay. Let's actually scoot that a bit forward. Perfect. Now we need wings, which are going to be these. Followed by, not that one, but this one. Brilliant. Close enough. Alright. And then, do we have delta wings? Or am I not seeing them? Do we not? Interesting. Okay. So we don't have delta wings. So, see that right there. Arg! This is what I was wanting to avoid. Okay. So I'm not crazy. The world is just out to get me. There we go. Anyway, in fact, I'm just going to get rid of this. Go away. So you've proved my point, game. Just very late. So when I do this... Oh, is it? I am very confused. Anyway, you saw that it was backwards. You saw it, right? Everyone saw it. I'm not crazy. Which I can avoid by putting the tip all the way out there. Alright, now to fix this again. As Gordon Freeman would say, I'm not crazy. How many more people do I have to kill before you realize that? Alright. Brilliant. Now when we add this on there... Then the problem is it doesn't like the snap to. But it does still like the smoothness. There we go. So this is not ideal because we don't have the delta wings. And ideally I'd either put a delta wing on this side or up here. But we don't get that, so we just get this kind of chevron rake thing. So this is very much a Raven beta version. Alright. Now, actually, before we do that, we should add the landing gear and everything. So I like the medium. Alright. Where's the center of gravity? It's about... there? Nope, that's gonna be skewed. It's about there. You don't want it too far forward, because as this fuel drains, in general, the center of lift, or center of weight, goes all the way to the back. Actually, that's not at all true. We can scoot these pretty far forward. Let's go right there. Yeah. Alright. Let's put the fuel back in. No, go away. No. Jeez. That is just annoying. Alright. That's still there. Center of lift needs to be a bit farther to the back. Actually, before I do that, I'm a derp. We should add the control surfaces. Do we really only have the Elevon ones? Wow, I have just fallen by the... I am disappointing myself over and over with what science I have and have not taken. Alright, whatever. I guess we're going with Elevon ones then. Still need this to go a little bit to the back, though. Let's just shift those to be about there. Yes. Alright. Actually, shift it to be about there. Because the center of gravity goes a little bit forward when it's empty. We need to add a reaction control system thrusters. Make sure I'm in double symmetry mode. Yep, perfect. Brilliant. So we have that. We have reaction control system. We open this. We have that. We don't have a robotic core or anything to put in there. We can slap on a just bad probe. Nope, apparently we can't. Okay. I don't care. We don't need a probe. Alright, what we do need are these. So let's throw on 2 of them like that. That's fine. what we also need are supports. Let's do that. Let's also turn on the thingamajigger, or snap. Let's put them on the bottom too, just to be safe. The reason you need these is because this connects to here, you know, up here, which means all of these will just dangle off and be all floppy and actually destroy your airship pretty quickly. And what I also want to just make sure is that these don't get too floppy. It's not that big of a deal. Also because, you know, this only connects to the frame up here. So yeah. And the reason I connect the wings all to each other instead of each to the body is to make it a lot easier to do the shifting. So if you need to adjust the center of gravity, what you can do is just grab the wing and do it. I'm going to move these one tick to the back. There we go. Okay, I think this is good to go. I will call this the Raven Mark 1. Let's save that, and before we actually launch it, A, we can't launch it because it has more than 30 parts, and B, we can't launch it because it's too wide and too heavy. But we can design it. So what we need to do is upgrade the spaceplane hangar to give it more parts. And we need to upgrade the runway to give it more mass and stuff. So now we should be able to launch the this. And let's launch it with Jeb as the pilot. No one else, just to do a test run. Alright, here we go. We do have chaos, which is important, because I cannot fly SSTO spaceplane without chaos. Lock steering to heading 90. I did not mean to do that. 90. 15. Do not actually activate it right now. Do not be stupid with the staging. There we go. Alright, here we go. Let's pin that up. As we'll pin this as well while we're at it. Alright. Let's do that. Turn off. There we go. We are now flying. In fact, we can... Let's go up to 25. What I should have done also is turn you guys to only do roll. Only do roll. You to not do yaw, and you to not do roll. There we go. Brakes! Air brakes! Forgot the air brakes. Oh well, doesn't matter. We can fly this thing. It will work. Alright, 25 is too steep. Let's go down to 20. Because ideally we'll be gaining speed throughout our ascent. But it's been so long since I've flown one of these versions of the Raven, I will probably mess up the ascent profile a fair bit. I'm used to having a lot more atmospheric power than this. Also forgot to set up my actual staging system, or my action groups. This is already going off to a swimming start. Let's drop down to 15 degrees. The final iteration of the Raven that has the Rapier engines, it can easily go to Serpent. And the Kerbin system, instead of the Eve system or Eden system, it can go to. I've flown several missions where it takes off, enters orbit, rescues someone, goes to Minmus, lands on Minmus, takes off again, returns, docks at a orbital station around Kerbin, and then lands. So ideally, we'll have something like that for this. We probably won't be able to land on Serpent with it, but at least be able to get to Serpent and back would be really helpful. It would, obviously very much cheapen the cost of doing crew transfer missions. I might not have enough oxidizer to do this, actually. Now that I think about it, that'll be interesting to find out. Because all of this core stage has oxidizer. So we're actually drawing liquid fuel out from everywhere. That's good. Alright, we are approaching our scram phase, which I am totally stealing that from Orbiter's Raven Star, which has a scram phase in its ascent. This does not have a scram phase. It has the equivalent of a scram phase, but it doesn't have actual dedicated scram engines and scram fuel. Alrighty, we're approaching where we need to be. I've noticed, so this, the Whiplash ramjet engine, its thrust starts kicking off at about like 1.4, 1.5 Mach, but to get there is a bit tricky. Because for a little bit, its thrust starts going down. So what I'm going to do is, at about 11, I'm going to drop my nose down to a low angle. And so we'll actually be trading our altitude for speed. to try to get us over the hump. And once we do that, then we should be good to go. Once we reach about 400 meters per second. There you go. So you can see our thrust is starting to pick up. So now we can lift our nose. And ideally, the thrust should continue to rise. Yes. As we continue to increase speed. And this starts snowballing, because in general, the faster you go, the better these engines do, which means you can go faster, which means the engines do better, etc., etc., etc. So once you get over that hump, then you start, then you can actually make the ascent. And that's the problem with making the craft too heavy, because if you get it too heavy, then you can't get over that hump with just these engines. I don't need this. That's dumb. Don't need this either. Alright, so at about 1 kilometer per second, I'm going to pitch up to 10, so we start gaining altitude. As you can see now, so we're going too fast, our engines have peaked out, so the thrust is starting to decrease. So we need to start entering the final ascent stage, which I'm going to cut directly to 25. So yeah, our engines are starting to cut back, and you see we're starting to actually lose speed, which is not good. So I'm going to cut back, and ideally I would have had a button to do this. That's going to shut down both engines, as well as shut down both air intakes. Normally I key that to the brake action group. Alright. I don't think we have enough oxidizer for this space plane. In fact, I know we don't have enough oxidizer for this space plane. Alright, let's revert to spaceplane hangar. That was a failure. Alas, I have failed. Two things. Well, several things. First thing, let's pull this off, as well as let's just get rid of these two. And replace them with just boring old fuel tanks. They're the same size as the other ones, but unfortunately those also had our landing gear on them. So it's about good. So we get a little bit more rocket fuel out of it, or oxidizer. What? So you're telling me this tank right here and this tank have the exact same amount of fuel. This tank is significantly larger. What are you on about, game? That's interesting. That actually might change how I design the second version of this plane. Huh. Anyway, let's put in action groups. Not gear, not light, brakes. Brakes, I want you to shut down engine. Yes, just shut it down. Toggle, no, not toggle the intake. Go away. In fact, then don't shut down. You, toggle engine. You, toggle intake. Good. The rest of it's fine. Alright. There we go. Slightly different. Let's save it. Let's actually fix the staging so these engines fire first. Alright. Save that. I will test that in a different episode. Or just wait. I'm definitely going to use it for this crew transfer. But I'm not going to do it right now. Where are the... Here's the Delta Wings. I can't believe it. And the other Elevons. I have just ignored it. That's hilarious. Ooh, turbofans. Low cruising speed and altitudes. Turbofans, fun fact, stop working at around Mach 1. So yeah. That's why we don't have very many, actually at all anymore, supersonic passenger jets. Because turbofans are super efficient and thus cheap. But they don't work at high speeds. This would be nice if we could just slap on a radial thing. This would be nice if we could actually get good guidance. This is very nice. Maneuver hold. Yeah, I like that. Ion propulsion, This is good. I like that. Nothing there of import. That would be nice eventually. Nothing there of import. This could be nice eventually. I still haven't gotten that. Okay. I think I'm gonna call it here with that failed attempt, because that's a good way to end. So what's next on the agenda? We have Sekhmet coming up, the crew transfer coming up. We just have a whole bunch of science to get from both the orbiting stations. But this the MPL is actually starting to run out of data, which means something. I don't know what it means. We might launch a second Serpent, or not Serpent. We might launch a second Sentinel, just so we get more asteroid discovery. How's our Osiris ScanSat? You actually still have a significant amount of whatchamacallit, reception. 2 bars. We still have full probe control. You still have enough electric charge. And you do have the major ScanSat things. Oh, you do have this communicatron. Uh-oh. That's an interesting fact. 15.0 G. Let's go back to the Space Center. We might lose communication with our Pearl probe, which would be bad, because there's a lot of science in the Pearl system that I would like to have. Huh. I might have done a goof. Yeah. Yeah, it's literally the same antenna. So, we're having troubles. Okay, let's go back to the orbital thing and just like look over this as a whole. First of all, that is the best tech that communication tech that we have right now. Where is it? Is it all the way back here? It's not there. I feel like it should be here. Yeah, there it is. Antenna rating 15.0G. I mean, it says at level 3 DSN it goes up to 61.2, and we do have a level 3 DSN. But clearly, this is the antenna to get, which is just better. Anyway, so let's go to the tracking station. So we're having trouble communicating this distance. It looks to me like we're actually going to keep in communication of Osiris at least until if the Atlas is on the wrong side of the sun. Pearl's a fair bit out there. So we might actually lose communication with our Pearl probe. In fact, I believe it's already not green. We might already be down to 3 bars instead of 2. Instead of 4. Yeah, we're down to 3. So, yeah, we might actually straight up lose the probe. We don't have Chaos installed, unfortunately. Fortunately, even without communication, we still have limited probe control, which allows us to use these buttons and full and 0 power, which should be enough to at least put us into an orbit around Pearl. Whether or not that orbit will... Biome. What? I just noticed that. We are over the what biome of Helios. Anyway, this should allow us to put us into an actual orbit of Pearl. Or actually, if we leave it like this, which we should definitely leave it like this, because if we don't have signal by the time we're here, then we're not going to be able to do course corrections, because that requires something other than prograde retrograde. We're not going to be able, and that means we're not going to be able to enter into orbits of any of these planets or these moons, because without course corrections, it's just going to be nearly impossible to do. So if we don't have signal by here in order to correct this periapse thing, I would rather it just crash. That's my 2 cents. Let's go to the tracking center again. And really quickly check how our Atlas probe is doing. Do we get maps? We do get maps. Not quite 100% yet. I get the feeling it might be in resonance. So let's fly the Atlas probe and see, just make sure that that's not happening, that we're actually getting new data with each pass through. Because the moment we map this, then we can transmit the science that we got from mapping it and go get more science. Goodness gracious, this planet is pretty. I love the rings. They're just so big. Alright. So, let's run this forward a bit. Yeah, we are shaving off a little bit each time. Not much. It's really not much. But it is getting shaved. Okay. That's good enough for me. In fact, let's just, actually... Yeah. We can go to the next VAB. At least. Alright. So, yeah, I'm still going to wait until this reaches actually 100%. Let's go back to the Space Center. So, the MPL crew transfers in 12 days. Every VAB is every 14 days, which means if we can't get our space plane to work, then we're going to need to use that VAB for the MPL crew transfer. So, we're going to get that space plane to work next episode. And then I think I'm actually going to just spring for these two techs just to build my actual Raven space plane. Delete on close. Alright. So, yeah, that is that. I'll see you next episode. If you have been, thanks for watching. If not, thanks for being a great person anyway. Take care.